Just getting ready, guys. Just getting ready. Just making sure we're going on all platforms. And we are. It's Friday, September 15th, 2023 AD. And it's 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time. Gonna have should have a okay Friday show, right? All right. Loosey-goosey. Have some cool music to play. It's Fob Friday. It's Frog Eyes Friday. Gonna have to keep my mic open at the end, the ending song, because I'm gonna have to bleep over it, because he says a word that made me not play this song the first time I played Frog Eyes. But I'm gonna just play it because it's such a good song, and I'll have to speak over the bad word. Jake Paul did a dance with Vivek Ramaswamy. Oh, cringe. Oh, come on, Jake Paul. I like you. Climate police collusion. In Germany. What happened to Germany? Don't tell me. Hit and miss Bill Maher kissing up to the strikers while scabbing. What's a scab? A scab is, I learned from the Disney movie, which was a Union communist propaganda movie, Newsies from the 90s, mid-90s, early 90s, with Batman in it, that a scab is someone who doesn't strike along with the other Union people striking, who goes to work. Ellen DeGeneres, I have a little background on Wikipedia, a little Wikipedia information on Ellen DeGeneres, because she struck my interest today reading CNN. Yeah, I think I'll tell you about my shirt. And other things. You know, there's this India woman who got hit by a cop car in Seattle, and she died. And I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing because people are so evil and sensitive over the insensitivity of police who are used to dealing with death, maybe more. Or, you know, a lot of cops deal with a lot of facing reality from which many of us tender-hearted people are sheltered. And so we think of the cops as racist or so brutal, when it's the natural world is what they call racist, and the natural world is what they call brutal. So that is the thing at which I chuckle, because they're all anyway, I'll read that to you guys I think it's from the Skim. So anyway, hopefully all of that, and maybe even more, and your calls, guys, if you'd like to call in, we can have fun, all right? I'm on JLP's network, 888-77-JIC. But anyway, everybody, no I in Jesse. Let's get right on with the A.J. Gallardo original theme song of the Hake Report, made on Christmas Eve 2017. Enjoy, and let's get right on with the show.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the beautiful scenery seen in San Onofre State Beach on this video feed, if you're watching the video feed, and this beautiful acoustic song of the Hake Report. Nice.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. Nice. And we're live on Odyssey with the audio feed working just fine. I'm live on Rumble and DLive and YouTube, and I presume Facebook. Let me see if I see any Facebook crew chats. Yes, indeed. Nice. And of course, Kick. Yep. And Twitch, I think it's safe to assume. So, hello, everybody. I am wearing, yeah, it is kind of inspired by the Taco Bell hot sauce, or one of those, Del Taco or Taco Bell, supposedly hot sauce packets, but instead it's a mild sauce packet. You guys think I'm some silly dude person that I can wear some ridiculous looking t-shirt, make me look like a hot sauce packet, kind of shaped like one too. That's funny. And wrinkly like one too. I did steam this morning. I did steam this shirt. Cool trick. If you buy a little steamer thing, I don't own an iron, okay? You put it up against a nice puffy pillow and put the steamer put the t-shirt on on a hanger and then just steam it. And it works. It smooths out some of the excess wrinkles. And this is 100% cotton. This is mild on it. It's a yellow t-shirt. Yellow-orange for my view, but when I look at it on the feed here, it looks pretty bright yellow. I think it's a nice color. And this is mild in parentheses. And then in the white, rounded off cornered squares, it says the Hake Report in some sort of handwritten type font. Well, thank you, Carver. Oh, I forgot to bring in the thing, but it's from Carver and the Snake Pit. So shout out to the Snake Pit. That's what my nickname for the chat. Appreciate it, guys. And I'm getting some compliments, I guess. And so right on. Okay. Thank you. That was cool. Surfers waiting for a set, says Rich L. Yeah. Yeah. Referring to the San Onofre State Beach. And it's beautiful and foggy down there. It's down in San Clemente or around that area. South San Clemente. That is a sick shirt. NGL, not gonna lie. Right on. Okay, fine. Why mild, though? Come on, man. Yeah, I know. Oh, maybe sick as in not good or sick as in good? That's who sent you the shirt? Yes, Carver and the Snake Pit. All of you guys. Carver lumped all you guys in with himself. Yeah, mild, maybe because I say mildly attractive, and I'm not too, the Hake Report, not too spicy. Not too spicy. We leave the spice to, like, American Anchor Baby and Wow Hassan. They can do the spicy stuff. Hake keeps it mild. Hake keeps it mild. And it's 100% cotton, doesn't stink. Nice. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. Speaking of cringy, gosh, don't do this. Jake Paul TikTok dance with Vivek. Is that how you pronounce his name? It looks like Vivek, but it's pronounced Vivek. No, it's not Vivek Murthy, Obama's Surgeon General. Now Biden's. Hake is extra mild. Extreme center. Clip 51. Give 'em HE double toothpicks, Harry. Twitter account, X account, tweeted this out. 11-second clip, and I put the music backwards because it's playing music, and these two grown adult males, one of them very fit, the other one mildly fit, doing a silly, goofy, not all that masculine TikTok dance, but it's not all that effeminate, I suppose, side by side together. And Vivek is saying in the thing, it says, why don't politicians appeal to the young people by doing social media posts like Vivek does? Vivek does. I do not eat mayonnaise unless you can mix Southwest in it and make it spicy. and then I'll have it, I suppose. You trick me. So here's the clip 51. Jake Paul is a YouTuber and boxer extraordinaire. He's very fit. He's white. Younger brother trying to prove himself. Younger brother to Logan Paul. I'm a fan of those boys. They're white. I suppose I'm not fanatically a fan of them. I just appreciate them a little bit. So here's this social media post, and Vivek Ramaswamy is that Fox News friendly Trump supporting currently. Didn't used to really so much. Kind of blamed him for January 6th, but maybe he changed his mind a little bit. I don't know. Guy who's Indian. Maybe he's an anchor baby, I forget. And he must be an anchor baby, because you have to be an anchor baby to run for president. You have to be born, supposedly natural born citizen to run for president, right? So he must have been born here to Indian people. Here's the little TikTok dance. Here it is. So they see them dancing, pointing one direction, pointing the other, doing a little bounce. And Jake Paul, he looks like he's lost. Is he on drugs or just tired of life? Show that one more time. They're doing a little dance together. And it's vertical format. Vivek in shorts and a polo shirt, dressed more nicely than Hake. And Jake Paul with all his tattoos and all up his neck even. All over his body and a tank top. Play it one more time. One last time. Jake Paul's a crypto coin scammer, says Potley. Look at that. Don't do that. Doesn't Jake Paul look like he's kind of like... Does he have... Poor Jake Paul. He doesn't... Does he have... He might look dead, but he still had more rhythm. He says DJ Jean Paul. Where are they? Somebody's backyard? Anyway, I appreciate those two guys a little bit. Vivek for being kind of a phony guy, but saying the right things. Strikes me as kind of phony. And then Jake Paul for being a talented YouTuber and fighter. Driven. That's us playing 3 times. Whatever, man. I had to play it 3 times because it's so short. And I wasn't even really watching it. What in the world do I keep seeing? And that's terrible. That was the dumbest thing I've seen all day. Indeed. That's why I'm forced you guys to show it. Hold your eyelids open and make you watch it. Yes. Say his name, Hake. Whose name? That video was almost worse than the one working out with his wife. Yeah, I didn't show you guys that one. I didn't even really watch it. Playing tennis with his wife with his shirt off. I caught a glimpse of him like, oh, avert your eyes. Yeah, so I saw that tweeted out on X. Posted out on X. Vivek, you're not fooling anybody. Maybe he is fooling some people. But I do appreciate Jake Paul being a little bit independent, right? That's a little bit independent to be supporting a Republican. Once again, proving that Hake hates us. Well, that's enough of that, I guess. Is there anything else to say about it? I do appreciate those 2 Paul boys. Are they normal white people? I get that they're safe, especially Logan Paul. Logan Paul, his spirit has been broken. He used to be a funny young man, very talented YouTuber guy, I guess, energetic anyway, successful in a worldly sense, but they broke him badly ever since maybe around the time of the Suicide Forest. Logan Paul is the older brother of Jake Paul. They're both white. blonde-haired guys, I guess, or maybe dirty, sandy blonde hair, we'll call it. Sandy blonde hair. That was the first time I ever heard was sandy blonde hair. I later heard dirty blonde hair. Logan Paul even still alive? Yeah, he's a crypto scammer too. What are you guys calling them that? I don't know. I don't follow them that much. But I saw some video where he said 2017 is my best year ever or something like that. Maybe it's... and they're just fun-loving guys, kind of maybe a little bit lesser than PewDiePie, except PewDiePie's kind of atheist. These guys fit in with the globo homo stuff, especially Logan. He's like kissed up to all the dumb things, like maybe feminism or Black Lives Matter or something cringy like that. And I get that. I get that you guys may hold that against him, and I kind of do too. They're most likely at least 1/4 not normal white, says Nugget Man. Okay, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. They're CIA assets. His dad looks white. They're both athletic, young, successful, and hated. They're white enough to be hated. We can put that out there, right? White enough to be hated and lame enough in line with the rest of the world to fall in line, especially Logan. Jake, a little bit less so, I guess. And Jake Paul seems like he has something to prove, and he's not really into this thing that he's doing with Vivek, I guess. But at least not in his body language. You don't know what he's thinking, which I kind of appreciate. And anyway, I wish those guys well, those Paul boys well. They sort of remind me of Bo and Luke Duke, a little bit. Maybe not at all, just because they're brothers and white. You know, Bo and Luke Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard. I almost wore my Confederate flag T-shirt today, the rebel flag. You know, this one right here. I have a T-shirt with it in a beautiful light blue, partly, unfortunately, polyester T-shirt with cotton in it. But I'm like, I don't want to call any negative attention to JLP's channel nor Hake's right now. Not that it would necessarily do anything, but you know, whatever. Moving on. Whew. Climate police collusion in, I didn't know what country this was, but sure enough, it is Germany. Clip 52. And I apologize if there is cussing. I bleeped one thing that a lady was saying that just sounded like that would have been where a cuss word might have fallen. But I didn't bleep anything else. So Geronimo and all you Germans, there's this German here in the chat. Clownworld _ tweeted this out, X'd this out. Originally from My Lord Bebo, B-E-B-O. Why are the police helping them instead of removing them from the road? 44 seconds. It's all in German. And the police were like disrupting the frustrated drivers who are dragging these people off the road. And so Germany's My Lord Bebo tweeted out or posted an X post, Germany's lame newfangled flag. It's not that lame. It's actually pretty cool looking. It has black, it has red, and it has yellow stripes. Climate activists block the road, and the people are boiling over with anger, frustration, rage at these evil, misguided, hippie-type people blocking the road, trying to spread their misery and make you feel urgency to get them off the road, like they feel urgency to stop the climate from changing, like they're playing God. The people want to drag them off the street, but the Berlin police, oh, this happened in Berlin. That's in Germany. Unlike Warsaw. Police protect the activists. He protects the activists. The hardworking people are getting angrier and angrier. I can't do that too much. I don't want to do anything to my head or the veins and arteries in my head. Anyway, here's the hardworking people getting angry with the climate activists who block the road, sit in the middle of the street, and the people don't want to run them over, which I don't blame them. You shouldn't want to run them over, I don't think. I mean, you certainly shouldn't do that, I don't think. No. And clip 52. Again, sorry if there's cussing. 44 seconds of this entertaining clip. And they're white. Here it is, I think. Is 52 in there? Okay. I think it is. What a beautiful language. That's a German woman if I've ever seen her. Look at him, he's dragging him. Nice. I disavow that, though. Police pulling his arm off. Crazy, huh? Hey, is that Hassan? No. Kidding. Man with the hair tied back. Look at that gal. She has like this long, straight blonde hair. And apologies if there's cussing. She's assaulting the man. I mean, the man is blocking the street. He shouldn't be doing that. That's assault and battery. That's battery, right? And the man's just taking it because these climate activists, so-called climate activists, are nonviolent. They're committed to that nonviolence. So they're evil, but they're not violently evil. At least, oh, that gal has a tattoo I'm just seeing. Let's watch it one more. Oh, shoot. Apologies to the kids. Don't read this. It's a little bit late of a heads up. She did say that what's translated as the F word. Don't say that. And Lady Seasal, I disavow that. Don't punch them. I'll punch them. She's just kidding, everybody. No, Doom Jesus. Let's play it one more time because I did Jake Paul to you guys. And actually, Jake Paul was fine. It was Vivek who was ruining that video. Because Jake Paul was still manly because he has a straight face. And it's like him to do a silly TikTok dance. Vivek, it doesn't fit. You're phony, man. But I like you. So here's the clip one more time. But cover your ears, German understanders, and where is the censoring? I should have censored it, but it said blanking something. But I think it's worth sharing again, and here it is. So cool. See, police. I knew that was some foreign country. Police. Cool. Look at that. You pulled the arm up. That was too energetic, cop. Deutschland. That's German. Okay, so cover your eyes because... Oh, my gosh. He said... Gosh darn it. So what? So what? And then I think the women are cussing nowadays because she says something bad. Oops, oops. Oh, my bag. Sounds like Arnold. Yeah. Get to the chopper. Second dumbest stuff I've seen today. So that's that. Whew. We wish you well, Germany, and we wish you well to climate protesters. We don't wish for any of them to be punched or slapped or something worse with the vehicle. Kevin Howe says, what exactly are they trying to accomplish? Europe are the most clean countries, also known as cleanest. He's learning English, ESL, English as a second language, in the world. Go to China or India and protest. Yeah. Give me a break. Hake, you let the kids down. I know. Apologies to the children and the German understanders. Forgive me. Pardon me. Is that really a time to cuss? Bill Maher, he's hit and miss. He's kissing up to the strikers. The people, they're not very striking. The people on strike, well, being a scab. He's being a scab. I saw this tweet on X, this post on X, formerly known as Twitter. Real time is coming back. Unfortunately, sans writers or writing, he says. God is writing it, even though he's an atheist and not even a Christian. Or normal white. It has been 5 months, and it's time to bring people back to work, he says. The writers have important issues that I sympathize with and hope that they, are addressed to their satisfaction. But they are not the only people with issues, problems, and concerns, says Bill Maher, M-A-H-E-R. Despite some assistance from me, much of the staff is struggling mightily, he says. I think he means financially, I guess. We all were hopeful that this would come to an end after Labor Day. You know, that communist, socialist, fake holiday from hell? Not too dissimilar from Kwanzaa. But that day has come and gone. Labor Day did. And non-laboring day, basically, right? There still seems to be nothing happening amid these writers' strike. I love my writers, he says. You don't love anyone, Bill Maher. That's fake news. You emotion your writers. I am one of them, he says, meaning he's a writer himself, right? He may even have written this overly long paragraph on X. Is this an improvement on Twitter X to have these long posts, or is it a notch down? Is it a downgrade to have these long posts? But I'm not prepared to lose an entire year and see so many below-the-line people, whatever that means, below-the-line people suffer so much. I will honor the spirit of the strike by not doing a monologue, a desk piece, new rules, or editorial. Those are different segments on his show, right? Hake's writers are on strike, too. So I'm honoring the strikers by not doing pre-written Hake monologues. The written pieces that I am so proud of on real time. And I'll say it up front to the audience. The show I will be doing without my writers will not be as good as our normal show. Full stop. Full stop. Oh, what are you, a woman? He is basically, though. He's a liberal. But the heart of the show, and he's also a mama's boy, the heart of the show, and he interracially dates and he says the N-word, that's fine. It's cool. It's funny. The heart of the show is an off-the-cuff panel discussion that aims to cut through the bogus speech, BS, BU, double toothpicks, SH blank blank. He cusses. And predictable partisanship. Yeah, right. I mean, occasionally there's somebody saying something true on his show, sometimes. Even he himself occasionally, that's why I call him hit and miss. We'll say something that's factual or accurate. Because he's a little bit older, so there's older school people are like the good cop, in the good cop, bad cop, evil people, unchristian people, liberals. The show will not disappoint, he says. Well, good for you. Good for you, you scab. I wonder how they feel about him. The lame-o, unreasonable liberals on strike Cernovich, who's been on the JLP show, The Fallen State, he's spoken at a men's conference, at least one, maybe more than that, over here at Bond. He tweeted a reply to this. He quoted that bogus speech line and stated, let's see, what was the line? But the heart of the show is an off-the-cuff panel discussion that aims to cut through the bogus speech, BS, bogus speech, and predictable partisanship, unquote. And Cernovich responds, you're a garden variety goober. That's not a bad word, is it, anywhere in the world? Canada, anybody? That made me LOL, laugh out loud. I guess he couldn't say LOL, lots of laughs at that point. Somebody responded to him, I love my writers, I am one of them. No, I think he is. He's a talented, high verbal IQ thing. Nick says, I don't think so. I don't think that it's a bad word, goober. Whew. Scary. You can't say anything these days without saying some bad word somewhere. I could have done more to censor that German clip. I didn't see the subtitles. I was in a rush. That's what happens when you rush. You violate the children's ears. Matthew Marsden tweeted a reply. How do you feel about the people who couldn't work because they didn't take the COVID vax? This is Bill Maher number 3, Hassan there. The China virus vax, Matthew Marsden asked. Great question, responds Yvonne Mojica's Liberty Bathroom Girls, blue check on X. I don't know. I don't know how Bill Maher feels about that. I don't pay that much attention to what Bill Maher says usually. But that came across my feed, mildly interesting. All of these based, old school, white enough to be hated. Because he is white enough to be hated. Even Bill Maher is white enough to be hated. They made him apologize and kiss up to that lame liberal fast-talking professor who's even a so-called minister, I think. The fast-talking one who uses all these big words. JLP's debated him before. Ellis? No, not... I'm blanking on his name, but he's a sort of a light-skinned black. Bill Maher kissed up to him after he said, Senator, I'm a house N-word. Because he didn't want to work in the fields with that rhino Trump hater who said, oh, I'll take you out to the fields in Iowa and work in the fields. Senator, work in the fields, I'm a house N-word. It was funny. And then the liberals and blacks said, oh, you can't say that. You're white enough to be hated, Bill Maher. So based Bill Maher is being a scab, and so is, go back to the original Bill Maher tweet there. So is Ally McBeal or whoever that is. One of those gals. Buffy, no. Did she play Batman or was that Reese Witherspoon? Batgirl? Who's that woman? Yeah, Michael Eric Dyson is the fast-talking, light-skinned black. Who's ridiculous. Yeah, Michael Eric Dyson. You apologized to him, had him on the show. Lord have mercy. You're worse than Logan Paul, Bill Maher. Because you're old enough that you shouldn't be so lame. But he was not raised Christian, so we cut him slack. Yeah, Drew Barrymore, patron saint of the Hake Report. Drew Barrymore, based Drew Barrymore also violates the strike. Nice. We have a low bar for being impressed here on the Hake Report, right? We don't expect much of people. Reese Witherspoon, Drew Barrymore, they all seem the same. No, I think Drew Barrymore's better. Okay. Ellen DeGeneres. Speaking of these people who are kind of lame, this is lame, white-looking people, but I don't know if they're normal whites month or hour. Ellen DeGeneres. Or is it Degeneres? Returning to the TV for a passion project. Look at her. She's too mannish. She dresses too mannishly, in my opinion. And she has that. I would think the short hair is kind of cute, to be honest. But these blazers and her style is too mannish. This one is not so bad, I guess. Well, we don't see her whole outfit. Yeah, it is. That's pretty bad. It has a collar all big and tight. Ellen DeGeneres. So CNN reports the legendary, I'm calling her legendary, not because it's not out of total honor or respect, but just she's been around forever. Well, at least since the 90s. Former feel-good talk show host. She's former. I forget. Like, I was kind of on her side. I became more on her side after they complained about her being mean or something like that. She's mean. And then so she quit. Or she got forced out to stop being a talk show host. 19 years, almost 20 years on her talk show. But she thinks she's a radical lesbian. It's partly beside the point, but you can't really get away from it because look at her. Okay. She will be featured in an animal documentary this fall. Do you care? No, I don't care either. It's on Discovery Channel. Far-left extremist outlet Discovery Channel. I don't know anything about Discovery Channel, but I think it's safe to assume. Commie Capitalist Corporation. Saving the Gorillas. Ellen's next adventure. That's her, that's a show she's going to be on. So this woman, she has quite the story, though. Just take this as a guys, and gals, and children. I do not endorse this lady, and I use the term a little bit loosely, because she's... But when you see her background, you may understand, okay? Here's early life check on Ellen DeGeneres, according to this pretty far left, because they rely on mainstream media for their information. Far left extremist Wikipedia.org. en.wikipedia.org. Show number 2. This is the woman who raised this gal. Betty Jane Degeneres is an American, so-called, LGBT rights activist. She is the mother of Ellen and Vance DeGeneres. Vance DeGeneres, ever heard of him? He's this brother of Ellen. And the first so-called straight female spokesman for the so-called human rights campaigns, far-left communists. Anything with human rights in it, communist. Almost always, occasionally these white advocates will call themselves human rights, but don't fall for that buzzword. It's a lame buzzword. It just means communist. Stupid. There's no such thing as human rights. Human rights campaigns. I mean, it's a radical homosexual outlet. National Coming Out Project. Oh, I disavow that. Coming out. Let It All Hang Out Project. Sickos. And an active members of parents, families, and friends of so-called lesbians and other things. That's the woman who raised her. And she didn't used to be that way. She started to be that way after, well, maybe she was that way in her evil spirit, but she didn't realize that she was going to support this evil thing until after Ellen, quote-unquote, came out to her or something like that. This woman was born in 1930, the mother of Ellen. She should know way better than that. She's like 93 years old, by the way. Born N-E with an accent over E. How do you pronounce knee? Pfeffer. She was born Pfeffer in 1930. So Ellen DeGeneres was born and raised in Metairie, Louisiana. And this woman is a speech therapist. And Elliot Everett DeGeneres, born in 1925, at least he's older than her, the father. And he died in 2018. He was an insurance agent. Oh, insurance agents. Is there such a thing as a good insurance agent? Maybe. She has one brother, Vance, musician, producer. She's of French, English, German, and get this. Forgive me, Sean, and you Irish males, Irishmen. There are Irish men, by the way. She is of part Irish descent. That explains everything. Okay, no. The French part also explains it, because those French, am I right? Those French people, they're not proper. Sometimes. English nowadays, weak. German too, nowadays, very weak. So, that used to mean good stock, good, strong, sturdy stock. French, English, German, Irish. I mean, I don't know. She was raised... Oh, no. This explains it. She was raised Christian Scientist. Christian Science is not Christian, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Irish Pub 84 says, I'll slap you silly. Oh, no, I'll slap you solly. I'm already silly. My bag. Forgive me, Irish Repub 84. Here we go. Hake hating on the French people. It's not hate. It's playful. It's playful malice or something. It's playful animus. Call it that. Now listen to this. This also explains it. Her parents filed for separation in 1973, the year of Roe v. Wade, by the way, and they were divorced the following year. So she's a child of divorce. 1973. And when was Ellen born? She was born in like 50-something, right? So before she was 20, I want to say. They were divorced. Maybe when she was not even a full legal adult. Her mother remarried, not very Christian. Do Christian Scientists, are they allowed to remarry? Roy Grusendorf. Now get this. This is bad. This is really bad. A salesman. Oh, from an insurance agent to a salesman. That went from out of the frying pan into the fire. Betty Jane and Ellen moved with Grusendorf from the New Orleans area to Atlanta, Texas. Did you know that there's an Atlanta, Texas? Vance stayed with his father. Nice, Vance. You know, Ellen's brother. Okay, so this is according to Wikipedia, so I don't know if this part is true, but this happens with step-parents frequently, I hear. More frequently than with blood parents, okay? I hear. When she was 15 or 16 years old, Ellen DeGeneres was M-worded by her stepfather. You guys can fill in the blank, right? Alested May, to speak the Pig Latin version of it. Not that children cannot translate Pig Latin, but it's an unpleasant topic. I don't really like to dwell on it, but doesn't that explain? I'm like, everything is explaining the Frenchness, her Irishness, her Englishness and Germanness, her mother's being evil, and her Christian Scientistness, and then her divorce and remarry of her parents, and then this stepfather molested Maher. Crazy, huh? Grusendorf used her mother's recent breast cancer diagnosis as an excuse to say, oh, Ellen, I need to check you for lumps. Terrible, huh? You guys following, you adults following me? Eventually, he tried to break down her door, according to this report on Wikipedia. And S-wordally assault her. 45 minutes of Ellen DeGeneres today, huh? Hey, no, come on, calm down, man. I mean, it's not going to be 45 minutes, I don't think, right? I barely started. Okay, it's been a long time. So she ran away. She ran away and spent the night in a hospital. She told her mother about the abuse a few years later, but Betty Jane did not believe it in her and remained married to him for 18 years, and then they divorced. Finally realized that Ellen DeGeneres had been telling the truth when his accounts of his behavior toward his stepdaughter kept changing. Grusendorf died in 1997. So she married and divorced twice, this mother was. And listen to this. Ellen, quote unquote, came out to this Elizabeth Jane Betty Pfeffer, which means pepper, I guess, in something. And this woman was shocked at first. The mother was shocked at first. What the heck? I thought it said shocked. What happened? Where is it? Where did I see this? I remember seeing this. Anyway, the mother was shocked at first and then eventually came around to being a radical homosexual supporter. Crazy, huh? Typical, not built on solid ground mother. Terrible. Show these different pictures. We'll plow through this and end this segment, guys, because I don't really like it that much. But look at this gal. This the so-called. I don't believe that this woman is really I don't believe anybody's really that L word. That's her. She wants to call her wife. What the heck? Gross. Portia. That woman is too not fat enough or mannish enough to be that. Maybe it does happen. I'm playing around, I guess. You do get perverted no matter how mildly attractive you are, because that's a mildly attractive gal. Okay, so we're looking at this Portia woman who's so-called married to Ellen. That gal. Okay, show the next one. Look at Ellen, all young. I can kind of recognize her. Look at that hairstyle. She actually has ladylike hair there in 1994. What? Dude. Let me see if I can find this information. Ellen was born in 1958. American so-called comedian, television host, actress, writer, producer. Starred in the sitcom Ellen 1994 to 1998. Got a primetime Emmy for a so-called puppy episode. I don't know what that is. She was something degenerate. And then she had her own talk show from 2003 to 2022. Got 33 daytime Emmy awards. This is her before all that mess. Before she was openly evil, I guess. Because I think in 1997 she, quote-unquote, came out in an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Ellen DeGenerate, says Hassan. Yeah, that's how JLP pronounces it. Terrible, huh? What a messed up life. Okay, so look at his one. She looks all British or foreign or European or something in this one. Look at that face and hair. She looks like one of the Beatles except blonde. Look at that. Those Beatles. That's her in 2004. I don't like... I should have censored that blazer. Looking all mannish. Okay, move on from that. That's vulgar almost, the way that she's dressed all like a man. Here she is in 2009. That's more of how I think of her. Okay, so here's the censored version of her with this Portia de Rossi. Portia de Rossi. And I censored her out of it. I censored Ellen's whole thing because I found her vulgar in this picture. Okay, so show the uncensored one very briefly. Okay, so there's Portia. And then Portia with their arms around each other. Ugh. Check this one. Show this one. Now you see why I censored it. She's all legs wide, looking all man, thinking that she's a imitation man. Come on, Ellen. Okay, get that down to there. There's the mother again. Number 9. Look at that. 93-year-old activist woman, twice divorced. Terrible. Oh, show this last weird picture of the mother from 1997. What are these people? 3 people supporting evil. All right. It's not 50 minutes, Nugget Man. That's not 50 minutes. Okay, let's move on. I want to read some Hake chat. I want to read some of the Hake chat. I will get to that. I got to read some supers first, though. Did Apple claim copyright strike on your stream yesterday because you called them fat? I don't think so. I don't get a copyright strike, did I? Isn't parody fair use? He says. Let me check my YouTube. I don't think I got any strike. I have one active community guidelines strike from August 6th, 2023, which was from my birthday streams, July 17th. No, I didn't get any strike. Did it get blocked? I don't think I got anything blocked. Let's see. It's still... Oh, it's blocked! Contains copyrighted material. Blocked worldwide. Ah! What in the world? I didn't know that. Thanks for the heads up there. Yesterday's show is blocked worldwide because it has copyrighted material. Let's see. Copyrighted. I'll have to fix that. Thank you for the heads up there. Based America First. I don't know what I played that would have... Okay, left out was fine. Pretend by okay was fine. Mother Nature. Yup. Okay. Trim out the segment. Man. Ridiculous. 11 minutes in. Okay, continue. Trim. Thanks for the heads up there, Base America First. What a mess. Ooh. Delilah Sion bought 3 coffees. James Anthony. Nope, that's not what it is, Sion. It's James Anton. Anton. A-N. Anton. A-N-T-O-N. You can say Anton, but it's Anton. It's not Anton. It's not Antoine. James Anton Hake. But thank you, it's not James Anthony. Base America First bought a coffee. Many U.S. cities instituted an eviction moratorium in 2020 due to government-created economic hardships. Oh, yeah. During the China virus. Yes, they did. Trump did it too, didn't he? Didn't he do that? He said, you can't kick anybody out, I thought. But U.S. cities did it, according to Based America First. Berkeley's moratorium expired August 31st, allowing landlords to resume evictions for non-payment of rent due September 1st. Dozens of protesters and tenant rights activists, commies? Yeah, they are. It's housing rights. Crashed a party outside the Free House restaurant where landlords were celebrating that they could start receiving rent again. Yeah, landlords are not the big guy. They're not the man, necessarily. I mean, maybe BlackRock or these huge commie capitalist corporations who are buying up all the land but there's local landlords. They don't make all that much money, and they need that income in order to pay their evil thing called rent to the government for the land that they own, basically. It's not called that, but that's what it is. Property tax, which is a violation, I think, in my opinion, maybe. Protesters gathered in front of the pub where they chanted, beat drums, and held signs. Deport the protesters, I say. People entered the government were met with shouts of, get a job and parasite. Whoa, dehumanizing language. Did property owners also receive a mortgage, utilities, and property tax moratorium over the same period? Asks Based America First. Why do renters not think that landlords at one time also had jobs and paid rent, saved their money, and invested in property to rent? Parasite better defines the delinquent renter behavior, perhaps protesting demon rat policies that entrenched the high cost of living would be more effective. I don't even think that would be more effective because protests against evil don't work. You can only protest against stuff that's reasonable and make it more unreasonable, such as, the so-called civil rights movement protested against stuff that was somewhat reasonable to be more unreasonable. Oh, let's bring in these anti-discrimination laws. That's not reasonable. That's evil. Wolves in sheep's clothing. But yeah, I mean, it would make more sense if you're going to protest evil. But no, they don't protest evil. They protest for the sake of evil. Crazy. Ridiculous. Blind followers of the blind. Blind leaders of the blind. I might buy this mild Hake shirt. It's not for sale at this point that I know of. Carver, let me know. Would you buy this? Somebody would actually buy this? I mean, it looks kind of cool, actually. I like the color. It's actually kind of striking looking. It's silly. Thank you, Base America First. Quite informative. Gregatron says, shout out to William in California. Hassan with 2 S's and his family. Wow, Hassan on Wednesdays. Hake, JLP, Maze, Tony, and Earl. Some people say rest in peace. I don't know where Earl is. Bill Lockwood, Nick, Chris, Joel, Sean, Denny in Bulgaria, Art in Ohio, David in Florida, get a job. Not telling David to get a job, but shout out to get a job. Ivana Spencer, Lord Baby 42, Becca, Kentucky John, Joe in Arizona, Sion, and Pam Greer, says Gregatron. Well, that's a cheerful donation, Gregatron. Thank you, man. Okay, I will get to your calls, guys. We are... Okay, hold on. Carver bought a coffee saying Ellen and Tim Cook separated at birth? Maybe their minds were switched at birth because they like the wrong sex. They don't even like the real S word. No, I don't know. Breathable Air Technology says Hake's initials are Jah, J-A-H. Indeed, Jah is the Rastafarian name of God. Jah is Yah, short form of Yahweh. Oh, Yahweh, as those guys said. You know, the white and black rappers, DC Talk. Oh, Yahweh. Okay. Guys, you can call in 888-775-3773. 1-888-775-3773. That's 8877-JESSE. We'll have more stuff to get to, hopefully, all right? So, enjoy Fob Friday, guys. It's time for some music. It's sort of dancey music. It doesn't seem all that, proper, but it's Jacky Cheung. This winter is not too cold. It's not even winter. It's still summer. But enjoy Jacky Cheung, guys. It's Fob Friday, fresh off the boat. Shout out to the Fobs. We love Fobs if we love anybody. Can you say that? That's not it's not a derogatory word, is it? It can be used derogatorily. But enjoy, guys. I know I will, sort of. It's not Jacky Cheung's best, but it's kind of fun. All right. I think it's from 1995, from this album called This Winter Is Not Too Cold. And the real pronunciation is "這個冬天不太冷." This winter is not too cold. Or it's not too cold this winter. So, enjoy, guys. I know I will. About 5 minutes, 17 seconds, okay? Here it is. Be right back.
從來的冷冬，迷夢也是冬。訴訴世界太灰太沉，令我夜裏沒有一個夢。碰上你，我竟不經意不受控。愛上你，氣溫也突然為我驟暖，風也未流動。
It's too dancey for me. Hey. Hey, he's a fool. Break out the glow stick. I disavow dance music. Come on, Jacky. This is like the Chinese male version of Cher. $19.95. It's kind of fun. Why are you laughing?
Buena muchacha.
Oh no.
Aquí estoy.
He's speaking Spanish. Hola, girl. I'm here.
Buenota.
Whoa, he can't say that.
Muchachita bonita.
I don't know if he's saying bad words.
Buenosota. Buenota.
Beautiful scenery though, huh? That's San Onofre. We're looking at video of the beach. Mr. Bane Rhythm. I danced this in my quinceañera. 1995. I doubt there's gold in those mountains. Cliffs. It's almost over.
被窝
Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that mildly attractive music. It's okay, right? Terrible. Whew. Okay, some more super chats have come in, guys. Thanks for bearing with me through that. Honestly, those who did. Being Enlightened Till I Rise is a monthly supporter on Rumble. Did you know you can do that? Support Hake, support American Anger Baby, support Jesse Lee Peterson monthly on Rumble. There's a subscribe button in the live chat there. So, for some people. Rumble doesn't work for everybody. That shirt definitely suits you, man, but different color at least. Leave the yellow for the blacks, says Being Enlightened Till I Rise. You think so? I think it looks okay. I don't know. I usually get compliments when, or at least comments, when I wear these yellow shirts. Spoiler alert once said, steal Hake's look. And he linked to some Amazon item of a banana suit. Like Goaty Hook, Banana Man. So maybe it doesn't look the best. I don't know. But thank you, Being Enlightened Till I Rise. Appreciate the feedback. Yeah, the blacks do look good in bright colors. Some fashion woman in my art class at the Christian college that I went to, quote-unquote Christian, said blacks look good in against orange or hot pink. So that's the fact. That's what he said. She said, anyway. Evil is still real. Man, gave a Rumble rant saying German protesters, writers strike, and Ellen DeGeneres. It used to just be your music. But today, you discovered how to make your entire show. G word. Is that what G-rated Hake means? No. Good job, old boy. Evil is still real says. I thought that the Ellen thing, okay, maybe I will grant it did feel long, okay? It did feel that I spent too long on it, and that happens to me. But I found it interesting, her early life and what happened to her with her mother. Her mother was shocked and then started supporting it, and, you know, the stepfather thing and Christian Science. That's like isn't that a cult? That's even worse than, that's like worse even than Jehovah's Witness or Mormons. And not that I don't know how bad the Mormons really are. Like you pointed out, evil is real. But she's a mess. And it's understandable that, anyway. You think the writer's strike part is? Anyway, yeah, thank you, Evil is Real. Appreciate the support. And I suppose it's even constructive criticism. Nugget Man was like, you spent 50 minutes on Ellen. That's kind of weird, bro. I know. Is Nugget Man even still here? DJ Onpaw with a diamond on DLive says, happy Friday from, can I say this? Jeezy Weezy, Hakester Gangster. Well, thank you, Jean-Paul. Appreciate that. One of these days, I should probably open the treasure chest for you guys. Should I do that? Maybe I'll do that. Should I open the treasure chest now while I'm thinking about it? I have enough lemons to redistribute some, you know, I'm a good socialist, commie capitalist, right? I'm a good commie capitalist. Let's redistribute some lemons. I'll be generous. I'll be Ellen DeGeneres. No, Hake, don't do it. Too bad, I'm doing it. Okay, do it. Okay, we're opening it. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Oh, you know what? I have a cool drop that I put in the folder, and we've had it forever, ever since I was the producer of the Jesse Lee Peterson show. There's this Groucho Marx drop that says, more bad news. I should just do that every new segment. More bad news. Groucho Marx. Any relation to Karl Marx? Thank you, guys. Shout out to DLive for the support. Congrats to Wrinkle Hands Bing Bong, who calls everything not morally straight and transgender. And Greenwall, who's a serious spiritual person. GMD Jim is funny and cool. Potleaf is 2. Kid Combo 1 is kind of a rebel and disliked by some, but I appreciate him. He's been around anyway. I don't know if he supports, but that's all right. Being enlightened till I rise with 5 coffees on buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. Morning, Hake. Morning to you. Afternoon to the Central Time and Eastern Time. I'm buying you coffees from now on because everybody loves coffee. Do they? I didn't start even liking coffee until 2015, late 2014, maybe 2015.
More bad news.
There it is. Funny. Isn't that kind of funny? I got that. I stole that from Dennis Prager's show. Somebody played it on his show. His producer, I guess, played that on his show. And it made him laugh. And he said, Groucho Marx. And so it was in my mind ever since. And then I became producer of the Jesse Lee Peterson show. So hat tip to my favorite Jewish man, besides Netanyahu, and Jesus, I guess. Was Jesus Ashkenazi? Oh, Dennis Prager, hat tip to you and your producer of 10 years ago, 12. Didn't realize you were promoting Taco Bell, says Being Enlightened Till I Rise. I'm not. It says The Hake Report. It does not even say the Taco Bell on there. You guys accuse me of promoting Little Caesars. Is Hake sponsored by Little Caesars now? No. I'm not sponsoring Little Caesars or Taco Bell. Although I do appreciate them from time to time on special occasions. Special occasions only. You don't eat pizza every day. Or Taco Bell every day. Or even Mexican food every day. Unless you're eating vegetables and you're a Mexican. Then you can. It's not mildly attractive, but close enough, I guess, says Being Enlightened Till I Rise. Also thankful that you stream live, man. That strike was totally unwarranted. Yeah. But you can almost always, unless I get banned, find me live on Rumble. Live on Rumble. Okay? So hat tip to Rumble. Appreciate you. Heard you did ban or censor other people. But I disavow that. I don't know anything about it, but I disavow that. Censoring people. I do censor people, okay? I do censor for Christ or for the sake of my tender heart. So I'm not totally anti-censorship, but anyway. Thank you guys. It's cool. So my blocked video of yesterday should be unblocked after a time. The processing might take a while. So
More bad news.
How does that drop coming in? Press 2 if it's too loud. Press 1 if it's perfect. Press 3 if it's a touch quiet. It comes in. It surprises me. I might have made it loud. No, unbleached. The heck? Shame on you asking that question. Why would you even want to know anyway? 2 people saying it's too loud. Okay. We'll have to make one that's a touch quieter. It comes in very loud.
More bad news.
Oh, did you adjust it? Nice. How is that one? Press 1 if that was better. Press 1 if that was perfect. Press 2 if it's still a touch too loud. The horn part should be quieted, says spoiler alert. Okay. We may have to fine-tune it. Thank you, guys. Let's get to some news. Actual news this time. Up in Seattle. Watch out for the cop cars. Cops are not always the best drivers, especially nowadays, you know. The far left females at the Skim report. And Hake says, rest in peace, Jaahnavi, Jaahnavi. It's a lady's name. Nice American name. It's not. Kandula, Kandula. Speaking of Indian people. Earlier this week, the Seattle, as in Washington State, Police Department released body cam footage of an officer making... I'm not laughing inappropriately, at least not meaning to. Of an officer making jokes about Kandula's death. Now, that's too soon. You should not be making jokes too soon, I guess, says somebody. Earlier this year. Oh, earlier this year? It wasn't even this week? So it wasn't right. Okay, anyway. Earlier this year, Kandula, as in Jaahnavi, an Indian graduate student. So she was getting like her master's degree or something. She was getting edumacated, maybe even edumamicated. Student at Northeastern University's Seattle campus. She was at a crosswalk. Crosswalks are where you're supposed to be safe. Yield to pedestrians. When the officer hit her with his car and killed her. Oh, so there was body cam footage of him making jokes. Okay? Hit her with his car and killed her. I don't think it was on purpose, okay, obviously, right? In the video, the officer can be heard saying, Jaahnavi Kandula's life had, quote unquote, limited value. Limited value. And the city should, quote, just write a check, unquote. That same officer. Is that true or is it false? Is that true or is it false? I don't know. A Seattle Police Accountability Office is investigating the incident. A separate police oversight agency called the comments, quote, heartbreaking and shockingly insensitive. Okay, mama. Okay, mama. I don't know about heartbreaking. Inappropriate. People make inappropriate jokes, especially cops. But anyway, Representative Pramila Jayapal, I've covered her before, Demon Rat, Democrat representative from Washington State, not from Washington State. Is she from Washington State? Is she an anchor baby? I don't know. Pramila Jayapal. Early life check on her. Do we have time? Democrat from Washington said this is exactly what happens when we normalize xenophobia and racism. This woman, that's not racism or xenophobia. 57-year-old American, so-called American politician, born in Malayali, into a Malayali family in Chennai, India. Chennai, India. To a writer, woman, and a marketing professional. Spent most of her childhood in Indonesia and Singapore, immigrated to the United States in 1982 at age 16 to attend college. I'm talking about the politician woman who's talking out against the police, xenophobia and racism. Got a BA, MBA, bachelor, master of business, blah, blah, blah. Right? MBA is business, right? And then now she's a demon rat politician. So, yeah, not American. Maybe she's naturalized, so-called citizen. She founded Hate Free Zone after the 2001 September 11th attacks as an advocacy group for so-called immigrant groups. Hate Free Zone registered new American citizens to vote and lobbied on immigration, so-called reform, and related issues. It successfully sued the Bush administration's Immigration and Naturalization Services to prevent the deportation of over 4,000 Somalis across the country. Oh, wow. So maybe she's responsible. Her group is responsible for that woman who became a refugee here in the States. Ilhan Omar, maybe. I don't know. She participated in Women Disobey and blah, blah, blah. So that's the evil part. Oh, let me show you the picture of Pramila Jayapal, this woman running her mouth. Pramila Jayapal. This evil woman. Dragging it into the folder. There it is. Hassan. I think we need, it would be nice if we had men who think like men, who say, okay, punish him for running the girl over, I guess. Fire him, I guess, if he did wrong. I don't know the situation, because they don't really tell you the full story. There's generally more to the story that they leave out. Hope the cops are okay, says Frankie Safari. Yeah, I mean, Seattle cops, didn't they abandon... Hake should have censored that face. No. Aw, you don't... I'm not going to get into that. Oh, spoiler alert, found the information. He was driving 74 miles an hour when he hit her. It's a 25-mile-an-hour zone. Oh, okay. Thanks for looking into it. Spoiler alert. Doing Hake's work for him. Those cops, they speed, and they don't stop at stop signs. Cop, don't stop! Yeah, maybe fire him. But cops have a dark sense of humor. They deal with dark things. Especially look at Seattle. Isn't Seattle like a very dark place now? They deal with dark things. So you expect a dark sense of humor. All right, you can take down Pramila Jayapal. Like, what did he say? He said limited value. Her life had limited value. Our lives have limited value. It's not unlimited value. Not that it justifies what he did, of course. I don't think he was, maybe he was downplaying what just write a check. What else can you do but write a check? You can't give her life back. How is that? Anyway, was there anything else said that's xenophobia and racism? This is what happens when we normalize xenophobia and racism. What, cops drive too fast sometimes? What was the context of him driving that fast in a 25-mile-an-hour zone? I don't know. Okay, I saw this thing. I want to cover this from, where did I see this? This was on, this is evil Mitt Romney. This is phony drama about the January 6th. Evil Mitt. This is from, these are tweets from Kyle Griffin and replies. Okay, cover your eyes, kids. There may be some evil stuff here stated and cussing and stuff. And I didn't censor any of it. Kyle Griffin shares this supposed text from Mitt Romney sent to Mitch McConnell. Mitt Romney is a carpet-bagging senator, and for some reason the Mormons voted for him in Utah. Texting Mitch McConnell, rhino from Kentucky or somewhere, January 2nd, 2021. January 2nd, okay? This is leading up to the January 6th mostly peaceful protest, part of which became a riot, and it was used against it was a trap for the Trump supporters. In case you have not heard this, I just got a call from Angus King, who said that he had spoken with a senior official at the Pentagon, meaning the deep state, who reports that they are seeing very disturbing social media traffic regarding the protests planned on the 6th. There are calls to burn down your home, Mitch, says the rhino, anti-Trump rhino, Mitt Romney. There are calls to burn down your home, Mitch, to smuggle guns into D.C. and to storm the Capitol. I hope that sufficient security plans are in place, but I am concerned that the instigator, the president, he's calling Trump the instigator, is the one who commands the reinforcements the D.C. and Capitol Police might require. And Trump wanted 10,000 troops, according to him, National Guard. According to him, he wanted it. He suggested it. And for some reason, the people closer to dealing, the people who actually are in charge of that direct event did not do it. Did not go for that. McConnell never responded. What do you expect? He's like a boomer. He's like an older, I think Mitch McConnell is older than even than Mitt Romney. Maybe he knows how to text, but whatever. And he shares an article from the far-left extremist outlet, The Atlantic, that props up overrated black writers like Ta-Nehisi Coates. So that's the... Everybody knew that it could be a wild thing. Trump likes law and order and peace, and he's not an instigator. Stupid, evil Mitt Romney, and Mitch McConnell's pretty evil too. Mitch knew, says Granny O in the replies. This is number 2 replies. Mitch knew, they all knew what was gonna go down January 6th. Darn right they knew, and hopefully, cover your eyes, kids. Darn right they didn't say darn. That poor man tweeted, darn right they did, and hopefully Jack gets around to all of them in time. Jack Smith. Oh, Lord, Jack Smith. That grandstander. Oh, he's a triathlete. Jack Smith, the guy who's going after Trump with the charges for January 6th or something. He's already said he's not done. Oh, yeah. Oh, JoJo from Jersey, the unclassy lady from Jersey. I know some classy ladies from Jersey, or relatively. At least not as off the deep end liberal as this JoJo from Jersey, number 3. Mitt came perilously close to being intercepted by the mob, too. Like they would have done anything. They didn't do anything to anybody. The only thing that happened was to the protesters. Okay, yeah, a couple of the cops got hit with the fire extinguisher by that guy. Some of them were moshing with the cops and fighting with the cops. Shouldn't do that. And those were the rough around the edges POC and former criminal Trump supporters who, what do you expect from them? They're rough around the edges guys. That's why you're supposed to have sufficient security, but you didn't, and that's your fault. Liberals and rhinos. Trump wanted sufficient security, and he told the people to be peaceful. Fay dem forces, but there wasn't any threat, they said. Moore replies, say what you want about Senator Romney's conservative policy and legislative preferences. I certainly don't agree with him on much, says Tanya, woman who's worrying her pretty little head about politics. But he's been I use the term pretty loosely. I use the term pretty loosely. I can't tell, but anyway. Her little head, mildly attractive little head. He's been one of the only very few in the GOP who have integrity. Mitt Romney doesn't have integrity. He's a lame-o. Ooh, she says, call a spade a spade. That's racist. Racist. Here's the screenshot of Kyle Griffin. He's not even a Christian, I don't think. Executive producer for MSLSD's Amen, MSNBC, and Mehdi Hassan show. Not to be confused with Wow Hassan. This is one S in Hassan, meaning the girly Hassan. Kind of akin to Hassan Piker. This is not the manly Wow Hassan, walking on water Hassan. 1.3 million followers from Los Angeles. Griffin Kyle on Instagram and Threads. What a day was his pinned tweet. This is 6B. What a day was his pinned tweet on January 20th at 8:55 p.m. Pacific, which is nearly midnight Eastern. This guy. That was the day that Phony Joe got sworn back into office. So that's the person who tweeted out this thing, this Kyle Griffin, Mitt Romney text. Lamos. Oh, if the liberals are on your side, you know you're off. Anytime you see bipartisanship, that means evil. Pretty much. They were listening to Hake's music. That's why they moshed, says Prince Vibes. Amusing. Agent account, says spoiler alert. Lame Mitch text. So, anyway. Let's get to our Seattle correspondent, Nick in Seattle, Washington. I was thinking of you, Nick. Watch out for those 74-mile-an-hour driver cops, Nick.
Back the blue, baby.
Yeah. Are you a blue backer?
I'm a bluebacker, sir. I talk to a lot of cops on the reg.
On the regularly, on the reg.
Regularly,
Nice.
yes. I'm friends with a few of them. Good old Seattle PD. Do you know that they are over 600 bodies understaffed since the good old defund the police movement that has occurred here?
Yeah, and probably also, did they have some vax mandates that lost the independent thinkers?
Oh, no, actually, they don't even test. They don't even drug test to get hired on.
That's funny. So they don't drug test and they don't vax mandate based.
They need bodies. They need bodies.
They're desperate.
I've been in elevators with some of these cats and have experienced multiple attempts at recruitment from officers younger than myself.
Are you pretty fit? And I know you're fit because you're a bike courier. Are you built? Are you pretty built?
No, I'm not built. I don't lift or anything like that.
But you could beef up if you needed to. You could beef up, right? You're young enough that you can build some muscle.
I think so. I think so. I'd like to think so. Gosh, I appreciate the compliment. I'm not as fit, not as bulky as you are.
That's funny.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you, man. The camera adds 10 pounds. But anyway,
you're right. Though they do say that darker skinned folks look better in bright colors, but you're pulling it off smashingly.
Thank you, man. You know, people think that I'm taller than I am too. Okay. Anyway.
Taller than you are?
Yeah,
tall with a T?
Yeah, T.
What are you, like 5'10"?
Give or take. Yeah, roughly.
That's tall. I'm a short guy. I'm only 5'6", 5'7" on a good day.
Okay,
if I've slept long enough and my spine has expanded.
Nice. Yeah.
So dig this.
Okay.
Dig this.
Go ahead.
I cycle past. I ride past the spot where that girl was unfortunately, because it's unfortunate, it's sad.
Yeah.
Mowed down by that officer. Number one, it's not a 25-mile-per-hour zone.
Oh, really?
It's a 35-mile-per-hour zone, and it's a very arterial road that people often speed down at 45, even 50. And this officer was actually not doing 75 miles per hour. He was only doing 50 miles per hour.
Oh, really? So that's 15 miles above.
And this is the heartbreaking part of it. The officer himself was on his way to a priority one, which is priority one. You know, you can take an idea of what that means. A priority one fentanyl overdose call.
Oh, wow. So
which is even
now where are you getting your information? Because spoiler alert cited a source when he gave me the information that he was going 74 in a 25-mile-an-hour zone.
Oh, I got my info from a sergeant that works at the precinct, where I typically take breaks from work about a block away from.
So you don't have personal experience with this road? You haven't.
Oh yeah, I do have. Yeah, no, I ride this road all the time. It's a super, super sketchy road.
Okay.
You got to watch your back all the time because there's speed demons on this road. The road's called Dexter Avenue, and it is a thoroughfare.
So, spoiler alert, got his info from Seattle Times, which.
Oh, the Seattle Times. Oh no.
So
Oh Lord.
They may or may not be accurate, and
Seattle Times doesn't like the Seattle police.
Right. Yeah, they're liberals.
Yeah, they're libtastic, buddy. Just shout out to spoiler alert, though. Seriously, that guy kicks some serious rear end. He always comes in the chat with so many links.
Right. Yeah. No, he's my chief mod. Legendary. Now
he's a legend.
Now I've seen some streets that are 25, but like you said, arterial road. I hadn't heard that term before for a road, but people go like 40 in it, or maybe even faster.
Oh,
50.
People regularly do 40, 50 miles an hour on the Dexter Avenue. It's a sketchy road.
Is it like kind of alongside a freeway, like one of those access roads?
You would call it a highway. You would call it a highway. Yeah, it's got a suicide lane in the middle.
Whoa.
So it's got a middle lane and 2 to 4 lanes.
Wow.
4 lanes at times. It runs north-south and connects connects downtown Seattle to the north end of Seattle. Fremont is the neighborhood it connects to downtown. And trucks drive on it.
Yeah.
Buses drive on it.
I got
There's
you.
always a lot of construction on it.
Potleaf says, quit worshiping the police.
Oh, Potleaf. Righteous. Does Potleaf smoke pot?
Not necessarily. I don't know. But that's irrelevant to the point. Do you
There's
worship?
bad apples in every bunch.
Yeah. And also,
You're going to have good cops and bad cops.
Don't they answer to the evil liberal politicians?
Exactly. And I do stand by the principle, to be reserved when speaking to the police, because you never know when you're going to get a bad apple, and they do have to do their job.
Yeah,
so,
which is
you
to
don't want
support
to
the
incriminate
liberal
yourself.
agenda. Yeah.
Know your rights. Ladies and gentlemen, know them, because they're yours. This is America. Also, triathletes pee on their bicycles.
Whoa, that's TMI, man. I didn't need to know that.
You mentioned someone who is a triathlete when you were talking about Mitt Romney.
Yeah. The triathlete.
Yeah.
That's Jack Smith. Jack Smith is the guy who's the special prosecutor of Trump or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Cyclists don't like triathletes because they do number one on their bicycles.
That's gross, man. You didn't need to say that twice.
we respect our bicycles, us cyclists. We keep them clean.
Right. That's funny, man. Okay.
All right. That's it. That's all I have to say. Also, the woman who was run over by the police officer, she was Indian, and they have a hard time. Their culture seems to have a hard time. What's the word? Being pedestrians. They just don't get it. They're glued to their phones a lot of the time because they work in tech, and they think because they come from India, where there's masses and masses of people, you can just walk anywhere without looking. But this is America. And if you're not careful, you can get run over by a car.
Are you suggesting that's what happened? She was on her phone and not paying attention?
No.
Well, it sounded like you would bring you would bring that up to suggest that she might have been doing that.
Maybe it played a part in it. It was right across the street from an Apple headquarters, so who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, I'll let you go, sir. I'll let you move the wheels, as Sir Nick says.
That's interesting context to the bigger picture of, you're a pedestrian. Cars aren't always paying attention. You definitely should, because it's car versus you. You're going to lose, generally.
Fire the cop. Just fire him, take his job away. Don't let it be a cop ever again. It's as simple as that. It doesn't need to be some big drawn-out thing. It could have happened to anyone.
What do you think about what he said about her life having limited value? Just write a check and make
low value. Me and my friends got a nice, good laugh out of that. We all looked at each other because, bicycle messengers, we get kind of treated like garbage by a lot of people.
Right.
Drivers hate us.
Pedestrians probably hate you, too.
Pedestrians don't like us either.
She was
We're just trying to make
this girl this young lady, foreign student, was not jaywalking. She was in a crosswalk. I don't know if she had the walk sign on. I don't know if there was a walk sign. There's no
walk sign in the crosswalk that she was in, first of all. There's no lights. And the crosswalk that she was crossing in was just installed only months prior.
Oh.
In a particular part of Dexter Avenue that happens to be where drivers tend to speed. Oh. There's a sketchy right and left turn lane. It's not a good intersection at all.
They shouldn't have put that there if it was a dangerous spot. Okay,
they should have put lights in. There's not a traffic light. There should be a traffic light. There's not.
You're supposed to yield to pedestrians.
Yeah, well, as someone who spends the majority of their life in these streets, I would exercise extreme caution in this intersection. But, hey, she's not here anymore, so she doesn't have to worry about that.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace.
Jaahnavi Kandula. And now evil people are shaming her name by bringing up fake racism and xenophobia stuff. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
All right, bye. Let me get to John in Kentucky. Kentucky John he hung up. Kentucky John. Couldn't hang on. He's a worker. He's a working man. He wanted to talk about Hake and naggers, people who nag, people who annoy you. And he wanted to say, you're racist. You're racist. Says the black Hebrew Israelite who thinks that blacks are going to rule the earth. Like he doesn't even think that racism is bad unless it's a white doing it. No such thing anyway, man. But thank you for trying, John. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your time as well. You got to work. Some people work for a living, right? So he couldn't hang on. Call back if you want, if you can. Pretty funny. The Gen Zers are stressed about money, I guess. Money. Terrible. This is from the far left females at the Skim. Who's not doing so well? Gen Z. You know those people age, what are they, 25 or 26 and younger? Something like that? 27 and younger? I don't know. I can't keep track. The far-left female-run outlet The Skim reports, yesterday a new study found that 47% of Gen Z Americans are thriving in their lives. According to them, I guess. 47%? That sounds high. Thriving in their lives. The lowest among all generations. So you know how they say, oh, I want my children to do better than me. Or, oh, I want to do better than my parents. Oh, this or that. That's not happening. Thanks a lot, commie capitalism, right? And as opposed to Christian capitalism. Christian capitalism with morality and God means true freedom. But commie capitalism, atheist, secular, unchristian, anti-white, anti-American, anti-freedom, so-called capitalism, commie capitalism, is self-destructive, with the evil government getting all involved and them getting all involved with the government. Millennials were their age. That number was 59%. 59% of millennials were thriving? What do they even mean? Millennials are not thriving. It's a mental health and wellness poll from Gallup. Gallup. Liberals. And the Walton Family Foundation, by the way. Walmart people. Researchers surveyed 3,000 people aged 12 to 26 in April and May of this year. This is a report from CNN Health. I'm chuckling. I got to show you guys this. I hate ads. Don't hate, kids. Appreciate. I have to show you this picture, though. It's ridiculous. I'm going to screenshot this picture, I guess, because it makes me want to make fun of them. You know, women and their emotions and their false comfort of each other. Gen Z mental health 1. Boom. Boom 2. Okay, I'm dragging this into the folder, Hassan. Gen Z mental health 1 and 2. Hopefully it copies into there so that you guys can see this stock image of some gal, younger gal being comforted by an older gal, with some younger gal wearing lipstick on her mouth, lips, and all her legs together, and she's hunched over, sitting at a couch or something, and the older gal with her hand, and you don't really see their whole full faces, right? One, you don't see any face at all because it's cropped, and has her hand on her shoulder and her other hand around the clasped hands. Comforting, physical comfort. Why am I reacting like that? It feels just supporting the phony drama. Only 41% of Gen Z members aged 18 to 26 are thriving, per that study. Millennials the same age, about 60% were so-called thriving in their minds. Study was released yesterday, Thursday. A smaller share of Gen Z is thriving, blah, blah, blah. Gen Z are far less likely to describe their so-called mental health as excellent. And you want these people to vote? They can't think straight. They're miserable. Miserable people with bad mental health aren't supposed to be making decisions about society. They can't even make good decisions about themselves. Anyway, sort of amusing. Not amusing like I'm laughing at them, but these people are so lost. No wonder you need church with Jesse Lee Peterson on Sundays. Men's forums, first Thursdays of the month. Women's forums, third Thursdays of the month. Silent prayer, morning and night. Pray without ceasing. God and nature. You need also nature and nature's God, right? Get outside. Don't be on your phone so much, Gen Zers. Getting all messed up from the social media stuff. It's not even from the social media stuff. It's poor raising. Gen Z mental health 3 chart. Let me give you guys this chart. They're all messed up. I just put this in the folder, the chart. Show if you can see it in there. Gen Z mental health 3 chart. How different generations describe their so-called mental health, which even I disavow even the notion of mental health. The silent generation, good and excellent, 53 and 33% respectively. 10% only fair, 4% poor mental health, silent generation. Well, you kind of expect that because that's, demented. Older people get demented, and that's a physical decay, partly from the evil, the evil spirit within that decays the body. Baby boomers, 39%, 47% good and great. Gen X, 31%, 49% excellent and good. Gen Y, which is millennials, 29%, 43% excellent and good. 18% only fair. Ingrates if you're only fair. Mental health, right? I guess. Gen Z, 44% only is good and 20% is excellent. Oh, well, that was fake news then. That means they're 64% fine if it's excellent and good. Relatively fine. 64% are relatively fine. That was a fake headline from the ladies at the Skim because they're not counting you see this one? 20% are excellent. 44% good. Ladies at the Skim. Trying to make it seem like they're doing worse than they are. And when you're told that you're doing worse than you are, you're acting like you start thinking like you're worse than you are, Female-minded, liberal media. Ridiculous. William in California is on the line. Sorry, Kentucky John, couldn't get to you. William, thank you for calling, man. How you doing?
Number 5.
Hey.
I'm looking at that graphic. I started to hang up because it sounded like you lost somebody a few minutes ago.
Kentucky John, I guess he had to go get to work. He couldn't hang on.
He works for his white daddy. He only calls a certain time of day when he's on his break.
Come on,
he doesn't
man.
talk all that crap when that man presses that, what you call that button for direct deposit to pay him. He ain't talking that Israelite stuff to him. He ain't talking crazy to that white man.
Maybe he works for an Israelite. We don't know.
He works. He got to work to survive.
Everybody
That's what
works.
He's supposed to do.
That's good.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, you ain't talking
I don't
want to
knock
that
him
man that's paying you. I don't want to talk about him.
I mean,
Listen,
there's a lot of whites who have resentment towards Jewish people, and then they work for Jewish people.
I know that. It's like, you hate people that you work for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, but I don't think that I don't think that he thinks that he hates his boss necessarily.
Yeah.
He has a problem with me because he listens to me and he assumes that I think whites are better than blacks, but I don't.
No,
well, depending on the
that.
issue, we have better qualities on certain things and worse on others.
I don't think you think that. You don't think that.
Yeah. Give me a break.
I mean, if you keep, like you just said a few minutes ago, if you think you're doing bad and keep looking at all that crap, you're going to start really thinking that you're doing bad.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just looking at that chart and everything. It's like, it's a lot of numbers and everything.
Yeah. Making me dizzy.
I was just, condolences to the woman who got killed up in Seattle.
Yeah.
That's too bad, man. But you see it all the time. People do use their phones and they cross streets and their head is right in there.
Yeah, and maybe in India it's so crowded that they crowd the streets and the cars don't have a choice but to just wait.
Have you seen the traffic situation there, man? It's like, where are the lights? And it's like, it's really disorganized. It's really not good. It's like everybody's running into everything.
Yeah.
And I hardly see street lights, and I don't know, do they have to have driver's license out there? I don't know. But maybe your caller had a point there. That they actually do they live that way out there,
Terrible.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've seen some of this, like this automatic car. I was going to call you about the Tesla.
Uh-huh.
And they put them, they go into that automatic mode. I don't think that they're supposed to actually be using it.
Oh.
But I was on the freeway yesterday evening, and there was a car that looked like it didn't have a driver. And
wow.
The kid was in a Tesla, and he was leaned all the way back, reclined, and everything.
Oh man!
And I thought the car was driving itself.
That's too trusting. I could see us doing that. Not. When I say us, I mean me. I could see down the road when in the future, if the future exists and ever comes to be, where the cars are self-driving, I could see me relaxing in the.
They brought that the feature a long time ago in the 70s when they brought out that feature, cruise control. Do you know it actually really took a few minutes for people to get used to that?
Right. Yep.
Because they said, I know the older version, they said you tap the brakes
and it turns off.
The brake twice and it comes off.
Oh.
But, the feature took a few years for people to get used to the feature. And then I think the feature is actually a lot easier now.
Yeah.
But they advise you when you buy the car, this is not something that you use in the urban areas. This is like if you get on Highway 10 and go all the way to Florida and you got a long trip, you use it.
Yeah.
And they say it actually saves gas because you're not going up and down on the gas pedal and everything. But this young man had a car that was self-driving itself. He was reclined all the way back, and he was texting on his phone and everything. And
too trusting, in my opinion.
I think it is. And so the passenger that was with me said, hey, man, we stopped at the light. He said, hey, man, is that thing self-driving? And he goes, yeah. And I don't know if that's too safe in a way. Too like you said, too trusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, so the guy that was with me, he said, man, that thing, how much does that thing cost? And so, I used to work there. I said, that's you're looking at about $90,000 right there.
Man.
And it's just, well, what about yours that you're driving? I said, well, it's got a hefty price as well, but I control it.
Right.
I drive it. It's not going to move unless I get behind the wheel and everything. I don't have that kind of car and everything. So yours is just as expensive. I'm like, yeah, but I control it. You got something that you're driving something that has a brain, so-called, but you're driving around a bunch of cars that don't have brains, that have humans driving them, and the human element, you do know the brain is a very powerful thing, but the brain makes mistakes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you got a car that's being controlled by somebody that's imperfect. We're imperfect creatures.
Yep.
And you got we have problems and get in accidents with cars, and you got a car that's actually automated, driving itself. What happens when the human element kicks in? And make accidents, and your car's set.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's dangerous, man.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I don't think I would be too crazy about that feature because when I was working for Tesla, there was a test driver that got killed in the car.
Wow.
Went under a semi and decapitated the roof and him along with it. He was a test driver, and the car kept going. In other words, and that. I mean, like I said, I worked there. I looked at the product. I said to myself, I don't think I would ever want one of these things.
Yeah.
There's this lithium batteries and they catch fire very easily, and they have to change all of the fire stations to put. Yeah, do you know you can't put that out with water?
Oh, wow!
So you have to change all the infrastructure and all the fire departments for this particular car. And I tell you, if I go on a trip and race somebody from Los Angeles to New York, I'm going to beat him because he's going to stop and charge his car for 45 minutes to get his 450 miles. I'm going to go to the gas station. I'm going to fill my 16-gallon tank in, 5 minutes, James?
Yep.
I'm gone.
Wow.
He's
interesting, man.
And then he's got to find a charging station.
They do better in the cities, just short commutes, not on the highway.
I would say so because he's going to take 45 minutes to get a recharge. We're going to the East Coast. I'm starting on the West. He's starting on the West. We go.
I know that.
Start at the same time.
Yeah.
He start at the same time. Eventually, I'm going to be a day ahead of him because he's got to charge. He got to find a charging system, right? He's got to find a charger.
Crazy. Yep.
He's got to charge it for how long?
True. It's ridiculous.
And your car is probably how many gallon tank you got? How long does it take for your car to fill up? To put the gun in your car and fill up? What is it? Under 5 minutes?
Yeah. Quickly.
So you got more gas stations to fill your car up and keep going and get that extra 450 miles and keep going to the next town, and then you get another fill up and then another
and
fill up and another fill
they don't actually go as far on the highway as they get better mileage on the streets. So it's reverse of the normal vehicles. The normal vehicles get better mileage on the highway. Yeah,
they do because I tell you where the drawback.
You know what, man? I gotta go. We're
you out of town?
Yeah.
Okay, you out of time? Cool,
yeah.
Cool,
it's good to hear from you, William. Appreciate you, man.
You too, man. Take care, man. Have a good weekend.
All right. You too. Guys, this has been the Hake Report. Enjoy this track. Keep my mic open. This is Frog Eyes. Silence. But for the, what is it called?
More bad.
Silence, but for the gentle tinkling of the flowing creek. And I'm going to have to say the nice word over the bad word because it has a bad word in it. Kinda. It says, gosh darn. Anyway, here it is. Enjoy. 2004. From the Ego Scriptor album. It's such a good song.
Put your rock and roll hands in the goddamn burning sand. Oh, put your rock and roll hands in the goddamn burning sand. Oh, 2 paddles in the water and two
so
paddles
nice.
in the water.
I like it though.
Put your rock and roll hands in the burning sand. Oh, 2 paddles in the water and two paddles in the water. Well, I'm all washed up. I won't start drinking till I hit 13.
RFK. It's not RFK.
Washed up. I won't stop drinking till I hit 13. A ding dong, the witch is dead. Oh, come on.
Isn't it nice? Kind of comforting. The Fallen State coming up.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Come on.
Isn't it catchy?
Oh, say goodbye
Drama.
to the rivers. Oh, say goodbye to the rivers.
Drama.
Oh, say goodbye to the rivers.
Anchor baby at 4.
Oh, say goodbye to the rivers.
It's almost over, guys. Adios, America.